have the pleasure of introducing Paddy McGuire. He is Mason County Auditor. He has worked in elections for more than 20 years, first as Oregon Deputy Secretary of State, overseeing the first ever all-vote-by-mail presidential election, and later as Deputy Director of the Federal Voting Assistance Program, the Pentagon agency that ensures that service members and their families and citizens living overseas get to vote, wherever they are in the world. Please welcome Paddy McGuire.
Thanks, everybody. Merit's a tough act to follow, I got to say. I bring greetings today from my friend and colleague, Mary Hall, the Thurston County Auditor. She wanted to be here today. She's a rock star. So you're getting sloppy seconds with me today. But Mary wanted to be here and sends her greetings and thanks. These are dark times for those of us that believe that the right to vote is as fundamental and unalienable a right as life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The Supreme Court just ruled that making voting inconvenient, Justice Alito's word, making voting inconvenient for citizens is allowable under the Federal Voting Rights Act. The Texas legislature is coming into special session today to make the most restrictive voting laws in the country more so. The raft of laws being enacted around the country to restrict voting will have a disproportionate impact on young voters, poor voters, and voters of color. And that's their intent.
Yes, sir. Talk about it.
While the national picture is bleak, here in Washington we can be proud to be on the side of making our elections processes safe, secure, and accessible. Because secure and accessible are not mutually exclusive. And Washington State is proof of that. We provide automatic voter registration, same-day voter registration, the ability to get a replacement ballot online on Election Day, and we've now made it easier for former offenders to register and participate in the process. Washington has opened our doors to citizens that want to participate in picking our elected officials. And the instances of fraud here are about equal to the likelihood that one of us is going to be struck by lightning right now. Exactly. Do we still have work to do here? Sure, absolutely. There are worrisome signs that some of our processes, like signature verification, may not result in equal treatment for all our voters. We need to be vigilant, and we need to elect election officials committed to opening the process and fairness in process and result. Our representatives in the other Washington are mostly on the right side of these issues. We can be proud that Senator Cantwell and Senator Murray are both co-sponsors of S1. They are doing everything they can to push back on states restricting voting rights. We need to thank them, and we need to let them know we appreciate their work, and we need to offer our hand to them to get more done. Martin Luther King taught us that the arc of the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. It can be hard to see that bend up close, just like the curvature of the earth, but that doesn't make the world flat. And we need to be vigilant and provide our support to the folks around the country and in DC on the front lines of the fight for voting rights. We need to spread the message that elections can be secure and accessible, Not in theory, but in reality, because that's how we do things right here in Washington. This is an important fight for the very soul of our country. Let's keep up that fight, and let's win. Thank you for all you're doing in that fight.